After Flywheel came out, we spent $20,000 on that movie. We put it on DVD, and it began to pick up and sell, and word of mouth began to spread. And again, God's hand was on that poor production. There's weak acting, there's the low production quality, the camera gets out of focus, the Home Depot lights were all over the place on the wall, the lighting, I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with that movie. But the Lord blessed the storyline. And a lot of people still tell us, I heard it today, I love Flywheel more than I do your other movies. That movie moved me, it impacted me. And we've learned that the blessing of the Lord is our greatest asset. As believers, if you don't have God's blessing, you don't have anything. Might as well call your movie Ichabod and go home. So guarding the blessing of the Lord is something that needs to be a high priority with you. What does that mean? That means you need to dedicate your project to the Lord from the beginning. Commit your works unto the Lord, and He will establish your plan, Proverbs 16:3 says. You need to walk in integrity. You need to be careful what you do behind closed doors, because the Lord can see you. You need to be guarded with your decisions. And we've learned over this past year what the most important question to ask is, and that's this: what does the Lord want me to do? That's how we make major decisions. That's how we choose a script. That's how we choose an actor. That's how we choose a distributor. That's how we make our decisions. We ask the question, what does the Lord want me to do? We don't ask the question, what's going to make the most money? Or what's going to cause us to get the most fame? Or what's going to please Hollywood? Or what's going to cause people to pat me on the back? Or what's going to impress my friends? You'll do different decisions. But if you come back to the main question, what does the Lord want me to do? It changes the way you think. And so sometimes it's not real clear what the Lord wants you to do, and you've got to get on your face and cry out to God and get in His Word and seek counsel from other people to figure that out. But I'm telling you, you will save yourself a lot. You'll save yourself years of work on movies that you don't need to make if you'll ask that question. You won't partner with the wrong people if you'll ask that question. Joshua got in trouble by making a covenant with the Gibeonites because he didn't ask that question. He didn't seek counsel from the Lord, and it came back to bite him later on. So you need to ask yourself that question all the time. If you're single and you're trying to decide, should I get married? You need to ask that question. What does the Lord want me to do? That is the most important question to us when we're making decisions, because that's everything. And if God chooses to bless what you're doing, then He will send the resources out of nowhere. He'll open the doors with the community. You'll have the government support. You'll have the protection of God when you're in rough neighborhoods. He'll enable the people who can't act to act. He'll cause media people to want to talk about your movie. He'll just spread it around if the Lord blesses what you do. And so we talk about keeping God happy is a high priority. And it is. It needs to be. Flywheel cost $20,000. It has now sold over 500,000 DVDs. We sold it out of the back door of our church first, and word of mouth carried that movie. Then now Sony eventually picked it up after they picked up Fireproof and Facing the Giants, and it's been in Walmart. And I'm thinking, Flywheel's in Walmart? That's crazy. Then, as you know, Facing the Giants story, we sought the Lord. He led us in that direction. He opened doors. He provided resources, and we made Facing the Giants. And again, by prayer. We tell people, I have a Christian friend, and he came to me and he said, Stephen, he said, the more I grow in the Lord, the less impressed I am with you. And I thought, that's a great line. It ought to be that way. He said, you keep talking about how God can do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or imagine. He said, I was reading in the Word the other day, and in Ephesians 3, that's where that came from. You didn't make that up. I said, I never said I made that up. Well, I want you to know, the more you get to know us, you come hang out with us, the less impressed you'll be with us, and the more impressed you'll be with how big our God is. That we've learned, you saddle onto the Lord. You hitch your wagon to the Lord and let Him drive. And let people be impressed with how big your God is. That was the whole point of the 5 loaves and 2 fish story. It wasn't about the kid. It was about the Lord.